welcome again to our lovely show. We're going to go right into the Masters recap, where Hideki Matsuyama posts 10 under par to win, being the first Japanese male to win a major.
That's huge.
Ever. It's huge. I mean, he basically he did it. He did it.
And if you saw his reaction when he won, it feels like he didn't even win. Just
I know. Well, he's
super calm.
It is in his element, Zen-like.
It's a Becky, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And then we had Will just going into just real quick the where we had runners up. We had Will Zalatoris, who was 9 under, who, if you don't know his name now, you probably know his name. We had a whole bunch of other people: Spieth, Schauffele, Rahm, Leishman, Rose. It was fantastic. Like we were saying, Hideki, he got it done. His putting didn't collapse somehow, even though he slept on a 4-shot lead. We were saying he's the first Japanese man to win.
He missed a few.
Well, yeah.
But overall, it was pretty solid. Yeah.
And he was the first, like we were saying, the first Japanese man to win a major. It was his first win since 2017, which was the WGC FedEx St. Jude, a 6th PGA Tour win. 24 hours ago, he was sitting in a rain delay. He comes out. He was sitting in a rain delay and sitting in his car in a rain delay with his phone, playing games, comes out, shoots 30 on the back 9, absolutely separated from himself from the field, and then goes on and plays a solid round of golf to win. It was amazing. What was your initial reaction?
Well, first of all, I thought it was a great Masters all around. We got a champion in Hideki, which is fantastic. He deserved it. He played amazing, especially starting from the restart yesterday. He just came out lights out, and he deserved it. Although, overall, I thought it was a boring final round, considering the field basically never really made a charge. Will kind of made an early push. You're like, okay, watch out. Here comes the Happy Gilmore's caddy. But he kind of fizzled a bit on the back. I thought Xander would make it interesting, which he did until 16th hole. Overall, he wasn't really pushed too much, and he just kind of cruised along. He made some mistakes, don't be wrong, but he also made enough birdies to hang in there and get the W. So congrats to Hideki, and well deserved.
Yeah, that's exactly right. When we have Xander trying to make a charge, because anything can happen on the back 9 of Sunday. Everybody talks about it. Xander's trying to make a charge. He birdies 12, 13, 14, 15, and then gets to 16. He's got what, a 9-iron, 8-iron in his hand? I don't even know.
I think it was 8-iron,
and just
I think it was 8-iron.
And just did not.
He said the wind. He said the wind.
He said
the wind came up, and then after he said he hit a 9-iron, and it flew the green. It got, downwind. So who knows? But still, it doesn't matter. He pulled the shot for sure. He should have went right, and yeah.
Well, that's why, like we were always talking about, that's why you play the game, and Xander himself has put himself in contention again to win a major. And one day,
I feel like he's always there, but I don't know. Maybe he's missing that clutch gene. I know we chatted about it. He just seems like he's always there, and he just doesn't get the W. So
you might just be missing it. You might just be missing it right. You might just be missing it right now. Like he could learn it. Like not everyone is like Jordan Spieth, where he just came out, but what was interesting was Will Zalatoris coming out also, kind of giving us some 2014 Spieth debut at the Masters vibes. Mm-hmm. The performance that he put on was special.
His ball striking is so good.
Everybody says it. Everybody knows about this guy, right? But nobody knows about it. I had a friend texting me, and he had no. He's just like, who is this guy? And I was like, it's a guy you've never heard of who's going to be very good.
This is the first week I've actually followed him and learned some stuff about him. I didn't really pay much attention to him. But yeah, I there was a lot of tweets I saw that they were saying, oh, they've called this guy out, for a while now, that his ball striking is so pure. And even when I was looking up some Masters picks from other people I follow, they were like, this guy's a stud. Watch out for him this week. And I was like, I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, they called it.
Yeah, they were talking a big game. They were talking about his ball striking, like you were saying. And he clearly has been a force since coming up as a special temporary member. He's not even eligible he could be like in like 20th
he's like
in the FedEx Cup.
He's like leading the Corn Ferry Tour, right? In points or money.
Yeah, he's still on the Corn Ferry Tour. Yes.
Yeah.
So
does this finish get him into the other majors? I'm assuming it does, or not yet.
I think, to be honest with you, I don't know. We're gonna have to look that up. I think that it does get him into actual other majors, but I don't know if it, he'll get more sponsors exemptions because he's not technically qualifying for PGA Tour events. But if you finish like top 10 in the Masters, you get invited back. I'm pretty sure next year, like
so
stuff like that.
To get your full tour card, what is it? Top what on the money list in the Corn Ferry? Top 10 or
I think you have to be top. I thought you have to be
20
top
maybe.
Top 20,
something like that. So I mean,
we're gonna do our research. We should do our research before we start talking about.
Well, I mean, no matter what, he's gonna be there. So regardless, next year he'll be a full tour member, no doubt.
Yeah, he'll be a 4-time, and plus the experience that he's getting, and he clearly has something that seemed, like we were saying, a little bit Spieth-like, where I don't know, you kind of have to feel that golf course. Where we'll talk about Bryce in a second, but yeah, good for golf, to be honest with you, with Hideki winning. Also, just starting the week with Lee Elder being the honorary starter, or how they tee off with Jack and Gary Player. And then
that was awesome to see
Japanese
Phil. Yeah, that was awesome to see Phil get out there early to watch.
Did you see Phil wearing a green jacket over a green green Masters quarter zip? What a baller. Yeah. The whole, that's what the Masters brings. It brings tradition, and it brings, they're going to say 4 please, so-and-so now driving. You're going to have the ceremonial tee shots. You're going to have the first 9 and the second 9, as opposed to the front 9 and the back 9. It's just, I don't know, man. It was great to see, and it was also definitely a way that I feel like Augusta has put itself on the map with at least attempting to grow the game globally with the amateur women. There was a Japanese woman who won that, and then to see Hideki win here. It's and then also to have Lee Elder as your ceremony. I feel like we're getting somewhere where we should be getting to in 2021. And totally agree. With that said, we'd like to quickly give our quick takes on how beautiful Augusta is and how awesome brown greens look at Augusta when you need them to. Dave, what do you think of how Augusta National looked in April again?
Thank God it looked how I remember, because just to be honest, November, awesome, we had the Masters, but it never looked how we want Augusta to look. So I thought the course looked pure. It was Augusta we know and remember. It played tough, especially in round 1 when the sun was out, winds were up, and the greens were just super hard and fast. And the show scored. I think there were only 7 rounds under par, I believe, in round 1.
Yeah, and there were no bogey-free rounds.
No, for sure. Yeah. But yeah, unfortunately, throughout the week, it just became overcast. There was not much sun at all. So the course just softened up and just played a lot easier. I mean, today the sun was out majority of the day, but it didn't really do much. I mean, the course was still pretty soft. The wind was up a bit here and there, but I think scores were pretty low overall.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about kind of like what your target score is in majors, and for me, the target at the Masters, and they have complete control basically for this, is to make him, between 10 under and 15 under. Like that's when I think of the Masters.
Yeah,
That's what
for the Masters, I like around 10 under. For Masters, PGA, I like around 10 under. US Open and British, I like it super tough, and
yeah, you were saying that.
Let them suffer a bit.
I can see the PGA being more like a tour event where it's like 20.
I don't like that. I like to meet majors just to be
so for me
10 under.
For me, Augusta, I want to see birdies on the back nine. Like that's what I want to see. I'd rather not see triple bogeys because it hurts my eyes to watch someone have a chance to win a life-changing event. And
on Sunday, I can see both ways. It's nice to have birdies, eagles, and kind of set the tone like that on Sunday. But I also like to see high numbers, chaos. Anything can happen on the back nine. You think players are out of it, and then boom, they're right back in it. So I don't know. I kind of lean towards give me some chaos, but
which is understandable. Which is understandable. Which we almost had some chaos coming down the stretch. This at Augusta today, and we were talking about how the weather changed and how the golf course softened up on Saturday afternoon, really. Mm-hmm. And I saw scores were, I don't know, they were something around like 23, 24 over.
They were low
over before the rain. And then after the rain, it was they were like 9 under. So things definitely toughened up, as but things got tougher, with the pressure of winning the Masters and coming down with someone with like Hideki, who, he's not known to be the best putter in the world, and he held it together. It was like, is he going to be shaky? He was pretty solid right from the start. But getting back to the course, the azaleas were in bloom. There was patrons in the galleries. It was
back.
The greens exactly were, like we were saying, a little bit firm. And and they just run the best tournament in the world. So next thing, let's get into real quick, greens books at Augusta. We were talking about Bryson and how he struggles there. We were thinking, he's always talking, he's always on everybody's radar just because he's so massive. But not allowing greens books at Augusta, in my opinion, is very, very important for the game. And you can kind of separate who is a scientific player, we could say, or who's a field player, which in my opinion, putting is feel. So how would you,
to me, every tournament should do that. Oh, I don't like them at all. It just slows things down. I mean, you would think it could speed things up, but I heard some players say it just slows it down. And it's the same thing that's going to happen at, is it the PGA where they're allowing the rangefinders? Yeah.
You don't think that's going to help?
No. I mean, I do, but I've heard a lot of tour players that are saying, oh no, it's just going to make it, it's just going to slow it down. So, we'll see how that works, but no, as far as the what is it? The green books? Sorry.
Yeah. Greens books.
Yeah.
And Bryson,
I'm not a fan of them. I'm not a fan of them.
Yeah. It's Bryson was saying he doesn't have his tools, and it's, he probably will figure his compass, whatever. He'll probably figure it out at some point. But right now isn't the time. I thought that was really interesting because, just something that we were really talking about is the fact that like every tournament allows these basically things that you can look at and putt through numbers as opposed to putting based on what it feels like. So it just adds to the mystique and magic of Augusta. Couple other things that we saw that we just want to quickly mention. Siwoo Kim broke his putter. He was 3 under par, still broke his putter.
Pretty much after that happened, he kind of just drifted away. You didn't really hear much about him after that. He kind of just dropped down the leaderboard, and that was it.
Yeah, and then we saw Billy Horschel taking a spill in some white pants right in front of Phil, which
White
you don't
pants,
really.
yeah.
You
And
don't
then
really want to
today,
charge yourself
same
for
thing.
Phil.
He went back in the water.
Yeah, he rolled up his pants again.
Yeah.
And then real quick, we saw a couple penalties get called. One of which was Abe Answer after I believe it was Thursday, a
Which is
two-stroke
ridiculous.
penalty.
I mean, yeah, rules are rules.
How do you see that?
How do you see that? Does someone call that? Like, come on.
So just so if you didn't see it, it's basically he took his club back in the sand. There was literally a clump of sand right behind his ball. He didn't mean to do it at all. Patrick Reed.
And
when he took his club back, it just grazed it. And
barely, honestly, you couldn't even really see it unless you rewatched it a few times.
And it has to be with a naked eye, but we're looking at super slow motion and they call a penalty on him. Very interesting. Yeah. And then I saw Matt Wolf signed an incorrect scorecard, signing something lower.
He already missed the cut, so he missed the cut and then he got disqualified.
He got disqualified.
It's pretty funny.
Oh man. But yeah, but a couple guys, real quick, just to sum up, I'm sorry. Hideki, congratulations from the Double Cross team. We want you to know that we are very happy that you did it for your country, because that's a big fucking deal, to be honest.
Huge,
I feel like it's a big deal. So congrats again, Hideki, on basically, I don't know, his translator should also get a green jacket, I think. And it's gonna be fun to see how the champions dinner is gonna go. But yeah, let's talk about a couple guys who, let's just say, didn't have great weeks. One of which was Rory, which is also my pick, Brooks, who Dave faded, and also DJ. These are world-class players who didn't really make it to Saturday. Dave, what let's talk about Rory first. He goes 76, 74, first cut of Miss Masters at the Masters since 2010. Finished fifth in November, has a two-way miss, looks awful. Talk to me.
No surprise to me. I told you last week I thought he would struggle here, and he had zero chance of winning the Grand Slam here. But yeah, he never played well at all. He just looks lost out there. And I was watching live from the Masters on Friday night, and even Brando said it's probably the worst he's ever seen Rory hit the ball. And he even questioned if what Pete Cowan is teaching him is actually helping Rory at all, or is just playing wrong. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with Rory the next few months throughout the major season. I mean, if he keeps struggling like this, he's gonna get a lot of questions as far as making the swing coach change, and we'll see.
Yeah, he didn't look good, man. I'm watching my lock of the week to win shank balls into the woods.
Montana,
it was awful.
That was brutal.
Oh God. It was like the one thing you can't do, he did. Yeah, I feel like he's in this like rebuilding process, hopefully.
And who knows? Like, maybe he's gonna figure it out and he'll come back better than ever. Who knows? But just what I'm seeing right now, he just
why? Sure. I mean, and especially when you're thinking about you're chasing, trying to figure out how to hit the ball farther, trying to keep up with Bryson, which again he said, and then Bryson, winds up shooting. I think he shot 75 today or something, and
he struggled today.
He
struggled basically yesterday and today.
We didn't even talk about his par 67, which he shot 9 over first, and then shot even par. But to try and Rory had one of the best swings golf has ever seen, and then to try and speed it up or whatever he wanted to do to try and get a couple more yards has totally backfired. And now he's hitting draws when he's thinking he wants to hit cuts. He wants to hit cuts. Once it was draws, I mean, some would even call that double cross, which again, and kind of alludes to our name. But and the same thing with Rory, like he's not the greatest putter to begin with to kind of save him when he's struggling with the swing. You know what I mean? Like at least Tiger, when
he was going through his many swing changes, he always had that putter that he could kind of help him, you know?
Right. And Tiger, you know, did change his swing several times.
Like 4 times.
He never changed his putter. Never changed it except the one dumb tour, you know, tour championship.
Well, he's changed it, you know, he's changed it a few times. He started with the
started with the Trillium. With the Trillium.
Then he went to
the
yeah. Then he went to this one.
Right.
He put in the mallet style, and then he even put in for a couple weeks. He had the TaylorMade. It was a TaylorMade putter. It was
it was like with the fangs or
TP. Whatever. No, that one too.
Oh, it was a blade. It was a blade.
It was a blade. It was a TP something for a few weeks. So
I count the putters that he's won majors with. That's what I count.
There's only 2. Okay. There's only 2.
There's 2 Camerons, right? One is 14. But yeah, so I mean, I just he hasn't won. Rory, getting back to Rory, hasn't won since 2014. A major hasn't won since 2014. Doesn't look like he'll win a major until 2030. You know, at the way, you know, at this rate. Another missed opportunity at the for the career Grand Slam. It's not. I'm going
to go on record and saying he does not ever complete the Grand Slam.
Really? You really think so? Okay.
We'll
make sure to clip. We're going to clip this part of the episode, and we'll make sure to keep it in our archives for when he does win it, because he's been what has he been? He's been top 10 6 out of the last 7 years. Like it's not like it's far off. Other people like Lee Trevino just stopped playing the fucking tournament, you know? I mean, because he just was like, fuck, like this is not my style. And that would be, and I also don't know any backstories, but that's something that you don't think he's ever going to win one?
No. Will he win another? Okay. Will he win another major? I don't know. Maybe he might, but I don't see him. I don't see him winning the Masters. So we'll see.
Are you a Rory fan?
I'm not. I don't mind Rory. I think he's great. He's amazing.
Do you think golf is better when he's swinging freely?
Yes. Okay. Of course.
That's what I want to hear. So moving on, we have Rory, get well soon, bud. Just wanted to say, we our next up on our list is Brooks Kepka, who comes off of a 74-75 MC. He made 24 straight cuts in majors. That comes to an end. His last miscut was the British Open in 2013. His last 12 majors, he's got 9 top 10s, including 4 wins. I'm not really worried about him. He was wearing a ridiculous hat. I mean, he was crawling out of Reyes Creek. I mean, he tried, right?
Yeah, he showed up. He gave it a go. I'm not surprised at all that he missed the cut. He was my fade last week. He's coming off knee injury on his other knee. He hasn't played much. Who knows how much he practiced? So he gave it a go, which I respect. But asking to make the cut or contend was a big ask. I just hope that these knee injuries aren't like a long-term thing for him, and he can get back out there. Who knows? Once these injuries start, they kind of start piling up, and especially with the knees and the back. So who knows? Hopefully, it's just something he can heal from and get back out there.
And he was asked some pretty dumb questions, which we'll get into later in the show. But yeah, it's I think he's just got to get healthy. And you're right. The question is he ever going to get healthy? For an extended period of time. We're saying, he won recently, Phoenix. Right? And right. So, I mean, it's not like he doesn't know how to play, and it's not like he beat Rory.
Well, what was funny? What was funny is on Tuesday, Wednesday, they were saying that Brooks was striping the ball like better than he ever has coming into the Masters. So when I heard that, I'm like, okay, maybe he's gonna play well. But
Yeah.
the putter was terrible. The putter was terrible, and then
Well,
obviously once you start playing,
also,
you kind of hit some loose shots, and
it's also one thing on a driving range when you have
exactly.
not great knees, and then you wind up at Augusta and the ball's 2 feet above your and you're swinging like a baseball bat. So I mean, it's we'll see. I mean, he's
still young. He has a lot of time.
And he's got a sense of humor about it, and which we'll talk about later on social media. So and then our defending champion, Dustin Johnson, wasn't around for the weekend either. Our world number one, Dustin Johnson, wasn't around for the weekend. What do you think happened?
Big shock to me. I actually picked him as my contender last week. Like he has been struggling coming into the event, which I did say, but I figured, it's the Masters, he would turn it around at Augusta, but his putter was ice cold. I watched him on Friday, and some of the putts he was hitting was like, what are you seeing? Like it was really, he even said it in his post round that his putter was just way off. And that's just how it goes sometimes. That's how Dustin is. He lives and dies by the putter, and just wasn't his week. So we'll see what happens. I'm sure he'll be back for PGA. He'll be playing well.
The dude doesn't remember anything, and
exactly
the fact, I'm not sure whether he hung around for 2 days or went on a bender for 2 days or just come back to put on a jacket, but he looked fresh when he put that jacket on. He wanted to get out of there as quickly as possible. But I mean, he's world number one. What the hell are we going to say about him? Just didn't have a good week. I mean, he won it back in November, but I don't want to get into, was it a real Masters?
It's a totally different course.
Yeah, he does have a green jacket. He's etched in the annals of Masters lore. Like it is what it is. And I also don't think he really gives a shit. I mean, once they didn't serve him pigs and blankets, he served him a smoked kielbasa in a puff pastry with Creole mustard. I don't think he really cares. I think he just wants to play the course whenever he wants. So